There's a part of Texas that stretches endlessly westward, where the skies are vast and unbroken, the towns scattered like ancient whispers, and the silence hums louder than the wind. It's a place where time slows down, cell signals disappear, and the highways seem to lead into nowhere. But why? Why is this land, as big as some U.S. states, so empty? What keeps people away from this mysterious, rugged frontier? Tonight, we're peeling back the curtain on West Texas, not the tourist brochures or travel blogs, but the real story. From ghost towns buried under dust to vast oil fields booming one year and busting the next, we're diving deep into the 10 reasons so few people call this place home. So buckle up. But before we start, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're pulling back the curtain and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now let's dive in. West Texas is dominated by arid and semi-arid climates, primarily due to its location within the Chihuahuan Desert. Rainfall is scarce. Many areas average less than 14 inches per year, with droughts lasting for months or even years. High summer temperatures often exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit, while winters can bring sharp, sudden cold fronts due to the lack of geographic buffers like forests or mountains. This extreme climate makes agriculture difficult without irrigation, and water scarcity is a long-term concern. The Ogallala Aquifer, a crucial groundwater source for farming and cities, has been steadily depleting due to overuse. Harsh weather conditions not only deter new residents, but also affect quality of life and economic sustainability for those already living there. When people weigh where to settle, comfortable, stable climates tend to win out, something West Texas can't reliably offer, especially as climate change threatens to make conditions even more extreme. West Texas relies heavily on just a few key industries: oil and gas, agriculture, and some ranching. While the Permian Basin has made the region rich in natural resources, the economy is vulnerable to volatile oil prices. When oil booms, jobs flood in, but when prices drop, as they did in 2014 and again in 2020, the economy crashes hard, leaving workers unemployed. This boom-bust cycle creates economic instability that discourages long-term population growth. Outside of energy, opportunities are limited. Major corporations and startups tend to gravitate toward urban hubs like Dallas or Austin. Many counties in West Texas have unemployment rates above the state average and median household incomes significantly lower than the Texas mean. Without a diverse economic base or access to higher-paying careers in technology, education, healthcare, or finance, younger generations often move elsewhere to seek better job prospects and financial security. One of the most immediate deterrents to living in West Texas is its geographic remoteness. Cities and towns are often separated by long stretches of empty road. For example, it takes over 5 hours to drive from El Paso to Midland, both of which are considered major cities within the region. Many smaller towns have no major airport, and public transportation options are virtually non-existent. For residents, this means long travel times for basic needs like healthcare, shopping, or education. Emergency services are often stretched thin, and access to specialized medical care can mean traveling hundreds of miles. The psychological impact of isolation can't be overlooked either. Social disconnection, lack of cultural activities, and few community amenities contribute to lower overall satisfaction with rural life. While some appreciate the solitude, most Americans, especially younger people, prefer more connected lifestyles with easier access to services, jobs, entertainment, and peers. West Texas lacks large, densely populated cities. While El Paso and Midland-Odessa qualify as urban areas, they are the exception, not the rule. Most of West Texas consists of small towns and rural counties with populations under 10,000. Compare that to places like Houston or Dallas, which each house millions and offer every conceivable urban convenience, from top-tier hospitals and universities to a thriving nightlife. In contrast, many West Texas towns have limited services, no nearby hospitals, sparse retail, and limited educational options. Urban areas drive innovation, attract investment, and offer a broader job market, all of which are largely missing in this region. Without strong urban anchors, West Texas struggles to attract and retain residents. Young professionals, in particular, often leave for more vibrant cities that promise not only jobs, but also cultural diversity, social opportunities, and the kind of infrastructure that fosters long-term career and lifestyle development. Maintaining infrastructure across such a vast and sparsely populated region is challenging and costly. Many roads, bridges, and water systems in West Texas are aging and underfunded. Rural school districts struggle with funding and often lack advanced placement classes or extracurricular opportunities. Internet access is another major hurdle. Over 25% of rural Texans lack broadband connectivity, limiting opportunities for remote work, online education, or telemedicine. Hospitals in rural areas are closing at alarming rates. Since 2010, at least 26 rural hospitals in Texas have shut down, many in West Texas. Limited public transportation, emergency services, and utilities only add to the strain. Without investment, these challenges compound over time, making it even harder to attract new residents or convince younger generations to stay. The lack of robust infrastructure reinforces a cycle of decline. Fewer people mean less tax revenue, which means fewer services, which leads to even fewer people. Before we move on, I want to hear what you think. Have you ever been to West Texas? Did it feel lonely, peaceful, eerie, maybe all of the above? Or maybe you've lived there and have your own take on why it's so empty. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And while you're down there, let me know what other mysterious or overlooked places you'd like us to cover in future videos. We've got a growing list, but your suggestions always lead us somewhere unexpected. If you're enjoying the journey so far, don't forget to like the video. It really helps push this into the wilds of the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss the next dive into America's hidden corners. Water is perhaps the most critical limiting factor in West Texas. The region is dry, and surface water is nearly non-existent. Most communities rely heavily on groundwater from the Ogallala Aquifer, which is being depleted at unsustainable rates. Some projections suggest that parts of the aquifer could run dry within the next 30 years. Without water, everything suffers. Agriculture becomes impossible, residents face restrictions on daily usage, and industrial development is discouraged. Water scarcity also limits the potential for population growth. New housing developments or businesses are risky investments if reliable water sources can't be guaranteed. Even existing communities are implementing conservation strategies, including tiered pricing and restricted lawn watering, just to stretch supplies. The looming uncertainty about future water availability acts as a significant deterrent for new settlers and for businesses considering expansion. In essence, without water, you can't grow a town, let alone a thriving region. Access to healthcare in West Texas is limited, particularly in rural counties. Many small towns don't have hospitals, and residents often have to drive hours to reach emergency rooms or specialized care. According to the Texas Organization of Rural and Community Hospitals, over 20% of rural hospitals in the state have closed since 2005, disproportionately affecting regions like West Texas. Primary care physicians are in short supply. Some counties have no doctors at all. This lack of access not only deters older adults and families with children, but also discourages healthcare professionals from relocating to the area. Medical deserts also result in worse health outcomes, including higher rates of untreated chronic conditions, delayed diagnoses, and preventable deaths. With limited Medicaid expansion and funding issues for rural clinics, this problem isn't going away anytime soon. For many, healthcare access is a basic requirement when choosing where to live, and West Texas often doesn't meet that threshold. While Texas is home to major universities like UT Austin and Texas A&M, West Texas has fewer higher education institutions and limited K-12 school options. The region does include institutions like Texas Tech in Lubbock and Sul-Ross State University in Alpine, but these are relatively isolated and limited in scope compared to urban campuses. Rural school districts often face teacher shortages, limited course offerings, and poor funding. Students in small towns may not have access to honors or AP classes and extracurricular programs, like music, arts, or competitive sports are often underfunded or unavailable. Many families choose to move closer to metropolitan areas to ensure better educational outcomes for their children. Additionally, the lack of graduate programs or professional schools forces young adults to leave the region if they wish to pursue advanced degrees, many of whom never return. This ongoing brain drain weakens the region's talent pool and future prospects. For many people, especially younger generations, lifestyle and culture play a big role in where they choose to live. West Texas, with its small towns and wide open spaces, can feel culturally isolated. Major concerts, festivals, museums, or nightlife options are rare, and access to diverse dining, arts, and entertainment is limited. While some residents enjoy the quiet, others may find the lack of social and cultural infrastructure suffocating. Ethnic and ideological diversity also tends to be lower in rural areas, which can deter individuals from more urban or progressive backgrounds. Additionally, LGBTQ+ individuals, immigrants, and people of color may feel less welcomed or supported depending on the community. Without a strong cultural magnet to attract newcomers or keep younger residents engaged, West Texas struggles to maintain a vibrant social fabric. In today's connected, fast-paced world, many people simply prefer locations that offer more diversity, inclusiveness, and stimulation, something West Texas often lacks. Another significant reason few people live in West Texas is the prevalence of environmental hazards, particularly those related to the oil and gas industry. The Permian Basin, one of the most productive oil fields in the world, is located here, but that productivity comes at a cost. The region experiences frequent flaring, where excess natural gas is burned off, contributing to poor air quality. According to the Environmental Defense Fund, the Permian Basin emits more methane than any other oil field in the U.S., and much of it leaks directly into the atmosphere. Residents face increased risks of respiratory issues and other health problems. Additionally, the extraction processes can lead to minor earthquakes due to wastewater injection wells, especially near towns like Pecos and Midland. These environmental risks make the region less attractive for families and retirees who prioritize health and stability, reinforcing the area's reputation as a place better suited for work than for long-term living. So now you know, West Texas isn't empty by accident. It's a vast equation of heat, drought, distance, and dwindling opportunity. But within that emptiness lies a strange kind of beauty, a haunting quiet that draws in the bold and pushes away the uncertain. Whether you see it as a forgotten frontier or a sacred last remnant of the old American West, West Texas remains one of the most enigmatic stretches of land in the country. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves untold stories and off-the-map places. We've got more coming, more ghost towns, more lost roads, more America you don't hear about. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay curious.